Hi, and welcome to Tarot Time. Welcome to the Medium channel. We've got a lot to talk about. So, what we do on our Tarot Time is that we do a meditation card, we do a 3-card spread that may be a personal reading for you or for this community, but mostly we're picking up on the energies of the world that are going on. And this is also our time for like a community hangout. So, if you're new, we will definitely do some tarot stuff, but the conversation can take some unexpected turns because a lot of people come in and they chat. So this is kind of like our community hangout. So again, if you're new, welcome. I'm gonna say a few quick hellos as people are coming on, and then we'll get right into this. So first step is to put some glasses on. So, oh, I can see. And hi, Mr. Floyd's channeling from Mr. Floyd's channeling channel. Hi, Carla, Millie, and Carl and Millie. Wow, you guys have been having, what is it, just the two of you? Wait a second. Hi, Yvonne. Hi, Suzette. Hi, Anna. I think people are starting to come in. So let me grab some water. And yeah, lots to talk about. It's lots going on, lots changing. So, sometimes we go into some current event kind of conversation, like what's going on in the world. And we have a couple of eclipses coming up, and frankly, normally I don't make too big of a deal about the eclipse seasons. They happen every 6 months. We have usually 2 eclipses in a row. This one, though, I am making kind of a big deal about because the energy it's just such a massive shift right now, and I think these eclipses are just going to really put it over the top. So it's really tonight. I mean, technically, the eclipse is on the 25th, but here in the East Coast, it's 3 a.m. If you're on the West Coast, it's right at midnight. So it's right, it's right at midnight. So it's really tonight. And tomorrow, we're going to be doing some transmissions with Heather and I. That'll be after the lunar eclipse, so it'll help us to get our energy set as the frequencies are going to really change a lot. So we want to get our bodies and our energetic field set. Now, on that note, at 5 o'clock today, if you guys can join us for yoga time with Doreen of Children's School of Yoga, she's going to do a beautiful yoga class for us. Some asanas and pranayama to again help us to set into these energies and these frequencies that are changing a lot, and just some really amazing stuff that's happening. So anyways, so 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 I've been feeling, so a big solar storm since 2012. It's interesting because 2013, actually, there's a lot of solar activity also, 2012 into 2013. And that was, that's the 11-year sunspot cycle. So we're actually at the solar peak of activity right now before the solar poles flip. That happens every 11 years or so. And then we also had the added thing about the frequencies changing on the Earth, the Schumann resonance. There's a lot of factors going on. So this season of solar activity is probably even stronger than the last one in 2012, 2013. But thanks, Mr. Floyd, for sharing that and sharing that with us. So, thing is, a lot of solar activity, the flares especially. As they hit, if they're strong enough, they actually condense the upper atmosphere and satellites fall to the Earth when that happens. So we may lose some satellite coverage. And what is satellite coverage? It's our cell phones, it's our internet, everything. So, and we're also coming into a Mercury retrograde. So we're deep in the approach to the Mercury retrograde that starts in April 1st. That's only 8 days away, or 8 days away. And so we're really in that period where Mercury is slowing to a screeching halt right now, and it's the planet of movement and communication. So when Mercury goes into its station, it affects our movements here on Earth also. It's all energy. The cosmos are able to give through planetary movement, give us an idea of how energy is moving through the cosmos, that's affecting collective consciousness, including us. So what's been going on? Thanks to Susan Ald, who's not here live, but she sent me a text yesterday about in one day 7 major world figures resigned. Basically, I think somebody from Vietnam, someone from, I think, South Korea, all in one day. Yeah. And then we had some very suspicious fires in Virginia pop up. And I mean, Virginia, it's been dry, it's been windy, it's been hot, but until I get more information, or we get more information, I'll put that under the heading of suspicious, just like in Texas, and then in Maui and Canada and all that. And of course, global warming, it's very, very much on the news. And climate change and everything like that. So, I mean, frankly, I do believe climate change is real, and I do believe that the greenhouse gases have something to do with it. But there's an edge to it. There's more to it, and it'll be interesting to understand exactly why that's so in our face, and at least the possibility that a lot of these fires are diverting public attention to the fact that the Earth's getting warmer. And I explained this in a video, not last week, but the upload the week before, about the next 5 years. Um, I explained what I was getting about this whole agenda, or at least part of it, because I think in a couple of years that they're going to try to sell the idea of modified weather. Like we had the technology to influence, we'll say, global patterns of weather, and they want everyone to buy in. I mean, they're already influencing the weather, right? Some people believe that they have outright control, and we don't have natural weather on the Earth anymore. I respect that theory and acknowledge that it may be true, but personally, I don't have enough information to jump on board completely with that. But I do know that through things like the geoengineering projects, the government's admitted to a certain amount of weather modification, and the experiments have been happening, to my knowledge, since the 1950s, probably even earlier. So it's a real thing. So the thing is, there's an agenda, that there's a higher power at work. I'm not talking about the higher power of spirit. That's an even higher power, but I shouldn't even call it a higher power. And an insidious control-based power on this planet that's been in place for probably thousands of years, but we used to call it the grand plan. But in any event, it just sort of boils down to a minute few having control over a great many, and whether that's part of an extraterrestrial war that's going on, or just chalking it up to human greed, or a combination thereof. That's the reality, and we see it in many ways, in many different levels. So we're not talking conspiracy theories here. We're talking about facts and things that are measurable and validatable. That there's a few people that are controlling everything, including the governments, the corporations, the media. The media's job is to divert our attention to one thing, while the real conspiracies are happening somewhere else. So don't be fooled by that. Don't even, my suggestion anyways, don't even, I don't want to say be fooled. That's the wrong way of putting it, but don't be allow your attention to be diverted, because some of the conspiracy theories are meant to divert our attention to where the real conspiracies are. So be discerning. And the best advice that I have, which is the same advice that I always have, is dwell in the heart, practice your presence, practice your heart brain coherence. When you're in the frequency of the heart, hearts cannot be negatively programmed. Hearts know the truth, and you will know the truth. But with all the programming and everything that's going on, and the media and the fear and the guilt and all that stuff, it gets our hearts out of coherence. And when our hearts aren't coherent, our brains aren't coherent. So when we're feeling fear, dread, anxiety, all this stuff, guilt, shame, that's even lower than fear and anger on the emotional frequency scale, at least according to Dr. David Hawkins. these bring our hearts out of coherence, and then we feel vulnerable, and then those that want to control us have a much easier time. So when we're in our heart, we're connected to the ultimate power source, the one heart, the unifying heart, spirit, God. And this here is a link to all that's out there. And once you really feel that and you're in that vibration, you know that you're powerful. You know you can't really get hurt. I mean, people do get injured, sick people die or whatever, but you don't get hurt because we're mortals. We're mortal spirits having a human experience right now. And once you really own that, all that fear agenda is less effective. So anyway, that's my little not rant, rap for the morning. Let me just say a few quick close. We're going to jump into some tarot time. So good dawning, everybody that's popping in. Is the Oh, you got to see the yeah. That's one of my guilty pleasures. Is I love ice hockey. I used to love it more, but I still love it. And I'm a Rangers fan, so I've been telling my friends. Yeah, that for the first time in God since the 1990s that the Rangers actually have a good team from top to bottom. So anyway, seeing a Rangers Bruins game, that was an exciting game also. Yeah. And then the Rangers are going to be in Colorado soon. Yes, to play the Avalanche, where they usually lose because they're not used to thin air in the Mile High City. So anyway, enough hockey, right? Oh, you're a Bruins fan? Well, Bruins and the Rangers have two of the best teams in the league, so it should be an interesting showdown. I hope they meet in the playoffs, and then we can duke it out, Suzette. Like, go Rangers, no, go Bruins. Anyway, so let's do some tarot stuff. Yeah, I love hockey. Millie saying she loves hockey and basketball. I used to love basketball, and I actually played varsity basketball in high school at 5'6", so I was really into basketball back in the day. Got obviously quite good at it because virtually every other kid was over 6 feet in the league. So Blackhawks fan. All right. Well, the Blackhawks are up and coming, so about 3 years you'll be able to boast again about having one of the best teams in the league. Um, what's his name? Connor Bedard. Yes, the phenom. Yes. So, anyways, cool. Other hockey fans, yeah. Sometimes I'll say to people, well, some people like football. I say I like my brutality on ice rather than the playing field. But one of the reasons I really love it is such a zen-like sport. It's like you can't think when you play hockey. A good hockey player's not thinking; they're in the zone, they're in the flow. So it's kind of like this mix of almost like gladiator type mentality with this really refined artisticness and this high skill level of the fastest sport on earth. So I love it. Anyways, any other hockey fans, say hello. Anybody new on the channel? Yes, please say hello. And all right, let's start out with a meditation card then. And what we do is pick a card or allow spirit through me to pick a card for us to meditate with. And tarot is really more of a spiritual and a meditation tool before it became a divination tool, from my understanding, studying a little bit of the history. And Rachel Pollack has a lot of good information in her book 78 Degrees of Wisdom of how modern tarot came to be and what the likely connections are with like ancient scripture and ancient Judaism. So they find links in all of these. And then of course modern playing cards evolved out of tarot. So I'm talking about it, maybe a really quick little history lesson might be fun. So officially, tarot was created by an artist in the court of King Ferdinand II of Spain, called Bonifacio Bembo, who made these prints, and it became a game called Tarocchi that the royalty liked to play. Then fast forward to the 1800s, we had scholars like Arthur Waite, Israel Regardie. There's others. Aleister Crowley. Say, who's the Golden Dawn guy? Aleister Crowley, and others. did some research because they were curious as to why a Renaissance artist created these prints that depicted more medieval times than Renaissance times. And then they kind of connected the dots and found that the tarot cards fit very neatly into the tree of life of the Kabbalah, with the 22 paths or the 22 major arcana. Major arcanas look like this. The ones that had the words on them. Minor arcanas are the ones that look like this, that have the numbers and the suits and maybe the court cards. Now there's 22 Hebrew letters, 22 paths in the tree of life. And then and there's 10 sephira or 10 spheres within the tree of life also. And then above that, there's 3 levels of non-existence. So there's the void and 3 levels of non-existence. It's called En Sofa. I'm forgetting the name. And then Malkut is the kingdom. That's the 10th Sephira, and that's the only one that really manifests in reality. So all the other 9 spheres and then the levels of non-existence are different planes of reality, basically. Really fascinating. So they found where each of the 4 suits fit in with the tree of life. They found that the 10 numeric cards fit in with the 10 Sephira or spheres. Then the court cards, the 8th king and queen, they all fit in very well. And then they also found a lot of the ancient scripture, from the Bible, that a lot of the symbolism was there also. So they did they did their due diligence and found these connections and figured out it was more than a game. It was a wisdom tool, and a lot of the mystical people back then were using it for meditation. Again, this is what I understand through history. I was gonna say I wasn't alive then. I probably was alive. I just don't remember. So anyway, anyhow, how you guys doing? So talking about a lot of people talking about Colorado right now. I've been getting a lot of calls. I have some new friends there. Mr. Floyd's there. Huda, who's not in right now, is in Colorado. Lovely tarot reader, Amy from Elevated Intuition, Spirituality and Tarot. She has a great channel also. She's in Colorado, so maybe we'll plan a trip Colorado to Sedona, maybe to Shasta. Hit all the really cool spots. Hi Dora, nice to see you too today. Okay, yeah. So if you guys missed the little mini tarot tutorial, okay. You know what? Since the card popped out, this is our meditation card for the day. You didn't have to pull it; just popped out all on its own. So the way I talk about and recommend meditating with tarot, like any other meditation, you get present, always opening the heart. When the heart opens, the mind opens. And when the heart and the mind blend in coherence, we become coherent with spirit. So we connect with source or spirit. So when we're really relaxed and present, the next step, now this is called the Morgan Greer deck. That's the deck that I've been using for the last year or so. So this is the Morgan Greer deck. If you have your own tarot card, you're welcome to use your cards and to do it that way. If not, just take a mental snapshot. So when you're really relaxed, really present, and I'm very open, I'm feeling the energies, the frequencies around me. When I step into the card, I'm stepping into another reality. So in my mind, I step into the card. First order business, what do I feel? I feel different in some way. I may feel happier, I may feel sadder, I may feel more dense, whatever it is. So how do you feel emotionally, energetically, physically? Then you may get colors, scents, smells. The Queen of Swords could be a spirit guide. It could be part of yourself, part of your subconscious, an extraterrestrial guide, an ascended master. And because this is only a doorway to a whole new reality, there may be other guides that aren't in this picture, or other scenes that aren't in this picture. So what are you seeing? What are you sensing? What are you smelling? What messages are you getting? And then come back. So that's what they're recommending to meditate on. The Queen of Swords is bringing us the element of air, which is the intellect. It's also telepathy, communication, the mind, but also the Queen, which is water, right? Yeah, queens are water. It was giving the element of water and air. So what is that, steam? Or what did happen when you put water and air together? I guess you get steam. Or And anyways, so it's interesting because water's very intuitive and very, it's like very psychic, intuitive, like it's the flow. Air's like very intellectual. So, part of the intention may be, to blend the intellectual with the intuitive. They don't have to be two separate entities. They're basically two parts of the same whole, which is, our, abilities to perceive basically, or to perceive and interact with energy and people and life in general. All right, so hey, Lakeside, hey, who else just came in? Misbehaving, hey, welcome. So we've been having a rip roaring time so far, so guys, if I want to catch the first part, I don't even remember what I was saying. It was just I was kind of semi-channeling at the time. So anyway, next on the agenda, hi Rosie. Next on the agenda, let's do our 3 card spread. So this could be information. This could be a reading for you personally. Um, for our community at large. So there'll always be a lot of overlaps, and then also what's going on in the world. We started to talk a little bit about that. I'm just trying to take a look at your comments a little bit also, because I don't want to miss anything. Yeah, it looks like you're having some nice conversation here. So this is a nice one to post. I'm gonna be sharing, giving for my grandson. He's 4 months old now. Congratulations. Yes, prayers to you. Yes. And misbehaving, saying that she's in English village, still intending to be mission. Very good. Keep visualizing that. That's how I overcame a lot of my autoimmune stuff, and it was very, very uncomfortable and takes a lot of mental discipline. I would sit and make the reality of perfect comfort more real in my mind than what was going on with my skin and other things. And it took me 3 years, but I was able to overcome it. So yeah, nice. Okay, I'm missing a lot of your comments, but in any event, thanks for keeping the comment threads going. Hi, Christina, Bianca or Blanca. Welcome. And yes, crazy energy, very crazy energy too. We're touching a little bit on the eclipse earlier, and we'll get to our 3 card spread in a second. And like I was saying before, I tend to not make a huge deal about the eclipses. I mean, they make a little bit of a deal because they happen every 6 to 7 months, usually in a set of twos, and it kind of sets the energy what's changing over the next 6 months. But this set to me holds special interest. It just feels like this is what's going on in the cosmos is really creating this crack in reality where we are able to it may be really at least figuratively, if not literally, where the realities are really splitting and we're really going into alternative timelines. But I think what's happening, like the solar eclipse, there's a lot of these biblical references. A lot of people are coming up with like Edgar Casey prophecies about the U.S. splitting into 3 or stuff like that. And I think with the solar eclipse, it intersects the last solar eclipse. So there's an annular solar eclipse in the last eclipse season, I guess back in April, or not April, back in the autumn. This one's happening in April, and then it intersects in Texas, and then it goes up basically through the Ohio Valley area into Western New York. So I'll be at Lilydale for the eclipse myself in Western New York. And I think it's not. I don't think it's going to literally split the land in 3 or split the United States. I mean, that could happen. They had been showing me, and I've been sharing with you some peninsula, kind of getting split into an island, which could be Florida or Italy. There's a lot, or Baja even. There's a lot of peninsulas. But that's different. But I think it's more the ideologies. I think it's just the divide is getting greater, and we could, as we come into the summer, seeing some revolutionary type activity with some of the demonstrations that go on and the drawing of lines and everything. So I think it's going to be really, really intense. It's almost like this is like we're coming out of the great purge that we've been in. So we've been doing a lot of clearing, a lot of energetic clearing, individually as well as a collective. And I think this eclipse season, especially the solar eclipse, because that's really putting a stamp mark on the sign Aries, which is the first sign in the new beginnings. And the spring equinox is really the astrological New Year's. It's really putting that stamp. It's like the purge is over. Now it's the reset. Now it's the shift. And now all the action is going to happen in the summer. So I think we're going to see a lot's going to change, a lot's rising to the surface. And I feel like something really, really big is on the horizon over the next couple of months. And it's almost like, feeling the earth move under my feet kind of a feeling. There's rumblings. It's like things have been coming to the surface in a trickle. I think it's going to be more of a tsunami. There might literally be a tsunami, but I think it's more of an energetic one where truth bomb after truth bomb, more high-ranking officials resign, more people step forward and speak up about the agendas and the cover-ups. Everything from pandemics to politics to elections, election fraud, all that. Then they're saying election fraud's real, but not what some of you think it is. It's a little bit different than and sometimes again these things that are on the news that are so in our face are diverting our attention to what's really going on. So anyway, a lot of this is going on. Yeah, yep. I had to interject a little bit of 70s pop into that. Uh, hand still full here. Oh, I wasn't gonna hop this one in, but Spear made me do it. If you keep up on the chat, you're Christine Nicole. Awesome, great to see you. Just say anger is scary. Amazing how we relate so much. Wow, cool. Yeah, Carol King. Yes, I feel the earth move under my feet. So I've been feeling that. So we'll see. Exactly how it manifests, but big energies here. So let me clear my mind a second because the old saying that I use frequently on tarot time: when I'm thinking, I'm not connecting. When I'm connecting, I'm not thinking. So the idea is when we're not thinking and we clear our minds and open our heart, our vibration raises, our frequency gets higher, and then we draw more from source. And the more we practice that and the better we get, the more connected to source we are. And that really happens by the elimination of that which blocks us from our natural connections in the first place. Ego, intellectualization, worry, fear, all that stuff, talking about other people. Forgot what that meme was going around. It was something about like unevolved people talk about others. I I don't know. Evolved people talk about something. I don't remember it, but it was kind of clever and on point. Um, all right. So it's interesting. I'm doing this. I'm hearing Arab, so I think a lot going on with the Arab nations. Sometimes with the Arab nations, I think of the economy because there's a lot of wealth, locked into some of these countries. Even though there's a lot of poverty also. Um, it's an interesting part of the world in the sense that often goes under the radar, in my opinion, in terms of their your level of importance on the world playing field, so to speak. There's a lot of the Arab nations, from Yemen to Iraq to Saudi Arabia to what's an Arab Dubai, yeah, the country Dubai is in. Why can't I remember that today? Well, it's because it's Sunday morning. It's my Saturday after a very long week of readings and lots of mediumship. So here's the cards that I pulled. It's the Wheel of Fortune reversed, the King of Wands reversed, the Ace of Pentacles reversed. So the first thing with all these reverse cards, I think the first message for us is slow down a little bit. There may be something in your personal life where you're very concerned about a job or money, or you lost a job or something like that. Yeah, I feel like this card is saying, don't bury your own ideas. It's not ridiculous, basically. So, some of you or one of you, whoever this goes to, maybe many of you, it's time to revitalize some of your ideas, some of the enthusiasm you may have had about a direction you're going in spiritually. So I feel like they're saying do some work to recapture that enthusiasm. And remember, enthusiasm is a Greek word that comes or from a Greek term, and theos, enthusiasm, and theos, which translates to in God. So when we feel enthusiastic, we're closer to source. Just like when we feel inspired, that's in spirit, inspired. So these emotions, these uplifting emotions, bring us closer to source and closer to spirit. So revitalize whatever that project is, whatever it is that you put on the shelf a little bit, that's really something where you can express yourself, that can, if it's done the right way, marketed, and all that stuff, can be very lucrative in the end for you. So that's, I think, a personal message for one or more of you. I think money and the economy are very much going to be your front and center. Think about valuing or devaluing currency. Nasara, Gesara, or Jessara, I don't know how you pronounce it, but anyway, yeah, I don't fully grasp that myself. I say if anybody wants more information, you can look it up. But this is something that stems back from Jerry Brown, maybe even earlier, from the 1970s, and part of it is creating equality in the currency, so so the exchange rate is fair for all countries. And eliminating the IRS in favor of an across the board sales tax, or a different way of supporting our governments. There's a lot to it. There's more to it than that. So there's a lot of movement to get currency back on a precious metal standard. I believe it is 1972. During the Nixon administration, to try to curb inflation. I think it tried to either inflation or recession. I don't remember which, but anyway, they took the U.S. dollar off the gold standard, so they can print money after that and not have gold in Fort Knox to validate. And then it became part of the petrodollar, which was amazing. Oh my God, thank you. Is it Christmas or my birthday? Thank you so much, Suzette, for this. An orange super sticker. Thank you very much. Um, and of course, yes, all donations go to support the channel. So we appreciate you and appreciate that. And uh and I think Lakeside Laura is saying yes, it's old. It's been going on for a long time. I think you were saying, right? I saw that comment and went away, but it was just sort of reminding us that it's not a new concept, basically. Uh, Thank you so much, Suzanne. No, Iris, good luck. The Iris is a foreign registered. Here, thank. This is very insightful. The IRS is not part of the government. Um, the IRS and income taxes are a mandate, which means it's technically not a law, at least as far as I understand that. Um, and yeah, good luck with that. I agree. I mean, there's a lot of movement in that direction. Personally, I don't think it's ready to happen yet. People need to awaken more. These societies need to change more. But having a different system of taxation that eliminates the IRS would still still wealthier people would still pay more. If it's based on what you buy, right? Because wealthier people buy more. But the idea, the end game that I see it, as far as like the conscious revolution when it comes to things like the economy, would be to eliminate poverty. Basically, that can be done, but those in power and control, want the poverty to exist because they want to have all the control. Money is power in this society. The more money you have, the more power you have. Now, from a spiritual perspective, money is abundance, and we live in an abundant universe. Everything exists in abundance. You look around. My body has 15 trillion cells in it. That's a lot of abundance of air. Looking out my window, I'm looking at Mount Tremper. Yeah, that's the view that I have here in the Catskills. There's at least 1 million trees in front of me. There's abundance of everything. So money is the physical counterpart to spiritual abundance. It exists in abundance, basically. and we have to really change our whole mindset about money. So, they want us to feel scarcity and stuff like that. And then what's going on? There's a lot of inflation going on. But guess what? That 0.3 or 0.05% of those that have 97% of the money and control everything, inflation doesn't matter to them. They have plenty of money. It matters to us. And it decreases our ability to spend and our ability to tap into universal abundance, as well as obviously physical abundance. Don't fear that. Know that you are abundant. The more you can be abundant energetically, the more magnetic you're going to be to money also. Because again, it's the physical counterpart to spiritual abundance. They don't want us to have that. They want us to control it. So money's not a bad thing. Again, there's a lot of negative programming. Money's not spiritual. I bought into that for so many years. And then I wonder why I'm flipping it now, why I'm have been having such a hard time manifesting wealth. It's like, it's an old program that keeps running and running until you finally end that program and reintroduce a new program. So I do a lot of subconscious reprogramming. So anyway, for whatever reason, somebody needs to hear this also. Wheel of Fortune, the wheel's turning. It's reversed, so it's slow, but the wheel's turning. Things are changing, even though we don't know it yet. There is some people call them the white hats. I don't know the exact dynamic of it, but there are forces that are organized, that are pushing to change the government and change the way the world's run and to make things fair for everybody, basically. So that does exist. Again, it may not be exactly what some people are saying, but anybody that has any kind of a political leaning agenda to the right or the left, in my way of seeing things, isn't really getting it fully, because there's one bird, right, and two wings. There's a right wing and a left wing, but I want to focus on the bird, not the wings. Anyway, I think that makes sense. Let me see what are you guys saying here? So Christine is saying, some comment to Anna. She's thinking the same thing. I heard you met Mr. Floyd. Wow, I didn't realize you guys actually physically met. That's cool. So I don't know if Millie, if you're in that area. They are saying I do the same process. Yeah, poor. All right. Good conversation. Keep it up. Yes. Talk about Palladians, and I'm more Arcturians, than Arcturian and Lyran, but Pleiades also calls me. All right, what else? I'm putting these down quickly. What else? This King of Rods can be very controlling figure also when it's reversed as well. So some of you may you'll have some issues with somebody in authority, basically. So there may be some problems with the boss or something like that, or a family member that thinks that they're a boss. There could be some spending of money, but I think the thing is that we hear more news in the coming weeks about changes with the economy. Things like government shutdowns. I mean, is that really new? They talk about that all the time, and things like that, and corporations closing. And I think there's this move into having like the 5 or however many master corporation where everybody has to be under an umbrella under that as part of the new economy. I mean, I've never even heard that. This has just been downloaded from Spirit. A lot of the stuff's not going to happen. So the idea is preparation. I feel like saying, over the next couple of weeks, there may be a few things that come up inconvenient, so it's good to have a little bit of extra cash, or make sure you have enough food or stuff like that around. Not that I'm seeing anything major with that, but we may, after the eclipse, as we approach the summer, may be looking at the possibility of supply or food shortages again, or I think some new pandemic kind of energy comes on the news in the next couple of weeks or so. Also, it may have something to do with measles or a different COVID variant or something like that. The idea is let's just not be rats in a maze, on that spinning wheel, constantly trying to go somewhere, not going anywhere, because that's really what they want us to spin our wheels. So The thing is, be in the heart, be in the eye of the storm. Everything's going to be okay. And all right, let me pull a few other divination cards. Let me just see what else. I have my Native American card. I have a few different ones today. Hi, blindly inspired. Yeah, I've got to do some more traveling in the next and meet you guys in person. By the way, what was I say? By the way, we're doing a retreat here in the Catskills, August 2nd to 4th, which is only about half full. I think I've 6 or 7 people that have committed already. The retreat center holds 12. There's an option for off-site lodging as well, but 20 would be the absolute maximum. This is going to be a power immersion with the master teachers retreat. So it's going to be a deep dive into spirituality, deeper than I go anywhere else in any of my courses, any of my YouTube, even my Spirit Mind family, which is our Patreon group. If you want to be part of our inner community and do frequency channeling with us on a regular basis with the master teachers for healing and awakening, as well as the exclusive videos I don't share anywhere else. That's called Spirit Mind Family. It's on Patreon. It's $5 per month, and a lot of you are on that already. I'll leave information on that and the retreat when this live stream becomes a video on the pinned comments. So that, yeah, so that I don't know how far from you. I'm in the Woodstock, New York area, so I don't know how far I am from you. Probably a couple of hours. Where is the retreat? The retreat is in the Catskill Mountains at the Hunter Mountain House in Lanesville, New York. About a half hour from Woodstock. About a half hour to 40 minutes from Kingston, New York, and that's where it is. So anyway, I'll have more information on that. Doors in Connecticut, yeah. So a lot of Northeasterners too, yeah, as well. And like say, Laura's in mid Missouri. Is it Missouri or Missouri? I think Missouri there, Missouri here. And is in Chicago. And my ex lived in Woodstock. He was a character. That's from Christina. Adam Yvonne saying, "Can't wait for the retreat. And blue's my favorite color. I like blue also. Blue's a cool color too. Yeah." Any further from? Could I be any? Yeah, I could be on the moon, Mr. Floyd. I could do it in 2 days in my car. I could get to Colorado. No sweat. Back in the day, I used to do a lot of traveling in my car, different states and everything. I used to live in Oklahoma. That was closer. It was back in the 1980s, but I was teaching a martial arts class with a good friend of mine at Oklahoma University, the one in Norman, not Oklahoma State, the one in Norman, Oklahoma. And I met Amberella, who taught me the tarot there. So it was a very meaningful trip. Also, I met my first wife there, which was a great relationship, even though it ran its course. It was for a season, not forever, but it was a great connection that we made. All right, so here we go. This is the card right here for the Native American tarot. Oh, who's getting pregnant here? Not me, okay. Pregnancy. This is the Four of Cups in the regular tarot. The message here a lot and I think this kind of piggybacks on a message here that I may have sort of glossed over. You've got some ideas, don't hold on to them. This eclipse season leads into a new level of activity, of action, new beginnings. It's time to put those ideas into action. We need more light workers, we need more spiritual teachers, real ones. There's out there, social media, YouTube, 20% are good and real, 80% are either trying to take advantage of the awakening movement to attain a profit, or they're more part of the the program collective that's fighting, that's trying to undermine the whole awakening movement. Basically, you have ideas, things like online courses, online seminars. There's ways to market. There's ways to get your message out there to the people. It's not easy. There's a lot of clutter you have to cut through. A lot of noise that you have to penetrate in order to get out there, because again, the powers that control everything, the money and everything, don't want people to awaken, because if we're awakened and we're powerful, they can't have power over us anymore. So there's incredible force against awakening, and I feel it every day. And I do a lot of spiritual work to stay in my protective energy, which is spirit. Spirit protects us, the angels protect us. So this is the time to step forward, to have faith. You are powerful. You can make a difference, and to put those ideas into action now. I think that's what this card is telling me. Anyway, I got other tools. Let's see. This one is, and I use this, by the way, on the channel, on the Medium channel, 2 nights ago. Yeah, it was the night before last. We gave you the 5 things you need to know about this eclipse that's happening tonight. If I remember, I'll try to pin that in the comments. That's right on the channel. You have that, and if anybody's interested in numerology, at noon, I have a YouTube short that's gonna upload at noon. That's basically a 1-minute numerology course. If you want to check in on that'll be up shortly. So anyway, these are called the Divine Abundance cards, and I use this for the it's one of the divination tools on the full moon lunar eclipse. It's a not an annular eclipse. What's it called? A prenumbral lunar eclipse. You're the kind that's lighter on one side than the other when it's in its totality. So I use these to get a message for that. Also, it'd be fun if you got the same message. Sorry, fingers are dry. Clearing. I don't think that's the one that we got, but this is a good message also. So this is this full moon eclipse. This is really the last hurrah of the great purge. So these next couple of weeks, do maybe some intermittent fasting, a lot of water, a lot of cleansing, but also a lot of emotional cleansing, like clear that emotional clutter, that energetic clutter. And again, by being in the heart and doing heart brain spirit coherence, become coherent of the heart, feel grateful, sit with that. Then when the heart becomes coherent, the brain and the heart blend, and then you visualize your heart and the universal heart of spirit blending, and then you're one with source. You're ready to do your healing, your mediumship, your meditation work, your abundance, your law of attraction work, because you have re-linked with source, the source of everything, basically. So clearing, as true offering arises, it becomes easy to let go. You start to trust that more will always arrive. You shift from mine to God's. Such freedom. There's a secret behind letting go also. Holding on is a very powerful subconscious survival instinct. That's why most people don't like change. That's why people say, I know I need to let go, but I can't let go. Whether it's like law of attraction, so if I can let go of the outcome, or if I have a crush on somebody, but they're not available, or they rejected me, but I can let go of that. It's a powerful survival instinct. How do you override the survival instincts? Well, you understand it's from the primitive human 3D. It's not of spirit. So you become more your spirit. You become more God again. And it's God. And you know that you are part of everything. You have everything. There's nothing to let go of, because you are everything, basically. So, the idea of holding on has kept humans alive on this planet for 200,000 years. It's not a negative thing, but it needs to be overridden, because if you hold on, say, like to your law of attraction, like I'm doing these meditations or these affirmations to attract $1 million, and then I keep thinking about that $1 million, I'm not letting the energy staying within my physical self, my human self, I'm not allowing it to extend to spirit or expand into spirit, so that spirit's not able to act on my behalf. Because if I'm able to do that and create an energetic vibration or field, the way the universe is set up, it has to manifest. It's just the law of attraction, law of vibration. It has to do that. So clearing, letting go. So finish the great purge now. Get ready for miraculous new beginnings to start. You may not hear about it initially, but you'll start to feel it, especially the solar eclipse. That's a new moon. All solar eclipses are on new moons in Aries, and then moving into the summer and throughout 2024. So anyway, is this Ganesh? Oh, thank you for pointing out that this is Ganesh in this card also. The Lord of Obstacles, the remover of obstacles. So you may get your message just from the image more than what's written in the words, right? I love Ganesh too. Oh, so that's good to know. Let me share that with everybody. So I guess all the deities have their own lunar day. What is? Oh, today's a holiday. It's today's a Hindu holiday, and I forgot the name of it. Prima, is it? Or I mean, it's not Diwali. It's like the next one, the next big thing. Where are my Indian friends? What holiday is it? It's a Hindu holiday, and I can't remember the name of it. Darn it! And it's not an easy name to remember either, and I can't remember it. Somebody knows it. Somebody knows this. Post it for us. What holiday are we? Technically, I think it's March 25th this year, but today's the 24th. All right, so let's do the frequency of the week. Holy, thank you. There you go. For holiday, hello. For holy, thank you. Oh, it's got a maybe that's another name for, but I know it. I know it by this name. Yeah, but thank you. It's like God up had God. I know it's a Jewish holiday too. Thank you for that. All right, thank you for that, and I think you're all right. So nobody's wrong here. So Christina is just saying in a certain tradition, it's also a Jewish holiday. Oy vey, I'm a Bernstein. I should know that, right? I'm just teasing. But not. I mean, I am also Palm Sunday. Hello, yes, it's Palm Sunday today. Absolutely, yeah. And here we go. Yeah. Holiday is known as the Festival of Colors, typically falls in March and is celebrated in many South Asian countries and across the world, including the United States. So thank you for that insight. By the way, check out Mr. Floyd Channeling's channel and his channeling of Archangel Raphael and Saint Germain and other goodies. It is, yeah. That's what I remember about Holi. It's just this beautiful, colorful festival. Very happy energy. All right, so even though I'm talking, I'm still able to link with Spirit Mind to get our card. 13 coherence. So we're talking about coherence also. Hearts are coherent when they feel love and gratitude. That's what hearts do. Hearts are incoherent when they fear, dread. It signals the fight or flight. It signals the survival instinct. So when we feel these emotions, it has a valid and a positive purpose, but we're not supposed to always be in those emotions, only when there's an actual threat. The other times we're supposed to be expanded more into spirit, more into love, more into coherence. So anyway, the frequency of coherence supports our ability to harmonize the frequency of the heart with the frequency of the mind for an optimal ability to create the reality that we desire. And this is key 13 in the sacred geometry deck. So you can get the energy just by gazing in the middle and just absorbing that. A lot of these are going to be hexagonal or six-sided, like quartz crystals and ice crystals for that matter. When you stand out in a snowstorm, you're being charged by millions of falling crystals because they're shaped like quartz crystals and they have similar properties. There's 20 something different types of of ice crystals that make up snowflakes, and all but two of them are six-sided. So there's a predominance of six-sided when it comes to ice crystals also. All right, thank you. So there we go. So that's that. Moving right along. I have my other Kyle Gray deck today, the Angels and Ancestors deck. So I'm trying to mix it up a little bit. And cool. Well, welcome to the stage. We have a few friends that are from Colombia also. Yeah. So I'm just saying it's up. Purim, Palm Sunday, Holly, G3 magnetic storm, lunar eclipse energy, big energy, yes. And Millie's half Cuban, nice, very nice. Oh, that's a song by Ambrosia, nice, very nice. I like to say back when Ambrosia was great, which is their first album. For those of you that like the prog rock, Ambrosia had a really amazing first album, just called Ambrosia. And speaking of Germany, one of my favorite prog rock bands, because blindly inspired, called Nectar, Nektar. Great prog rock band from the 70s. Also, they got to see live. They're famous. Their signature is "Remember the Future." So anyway, you see why I might like that band also, and they're German. All right, so clearing my mind. Here we go. Found my card. This is card Great Angels. Go off camera to lick my fingers. What do we got? Broken Arrow. I've seen this card before. Embrace the energy of peace. So this is interesting. So again, this could tie in with the heart also, but embrace the energy of peace. Basically, there's a lot of struggles. I think part of the message when we go out there in the world and all that good stuff, in our days, a lot of people are very upset. They're very triggered by what's going on in the world, and they're programmed or whatever. Prepare a peaceful heart and a nice shield when you go out there. And I've been having to just remind myself, just because my channel's growing, and especially the YouTube shorts go very indiscriminately into the short feed if the YouTube algorithm thinks it's good enough. So I catch a lot of like nasty negative comments, and really having to apply, like being a sensitive empathic person, really having to apply these principles of being in the heart and being in a place of peace and understanding. It's really not them. If I react to them, then that's on me. It's not on them. you know you know until they evolve, just the reachable and the teachable, right? We can't teach everybody. People have to be at a certain level of their understanding in order to be able to appreciate the information, me, from my perspective, and also your perspective. So another reminder, not to try to put your foot in the door too much for people that aren't ready, just to focus on those that are ready for whatever it is you have to offer, basically. Let's get our, I'm just looking at the time, as you've seen, we're on for an hour again. Again, this is our weekly community hangout also. So so we can be on a little longer for these. So this is messages from your animal guides from Stephen Farber. So I usually use the medicine card, but the advantage of these cards is it's not just from animals from North America. So we get the whole world in these cards. And the one that we got is a manatee. Well, that's Florida has a lot of manatees, right? Accept the situation as it is rather than fighting to change it. So that seems to be a secondary, like a subplot or secondary theme, is the acceptance, letting go. Well, that kind of piggybacks with the main theme. This is the time of the great purge. Let the rest go. And that happens when you really find that core of peace within. So I think that that's kind of the underlying message for both of the last cards again. So the fighting to change it, work on changing yourself, and not even changing yourself, letting that higher portion of yourself start to shine through. and start to overcome the lower nature, as it were, or at least blend with it and harmonize and synchronize with it to be the whole person or the whole human being. I mean, as a whole human, we're not light or dark. We're both, right? Just like nature itself. Last but not least, we have an angel therapy cards message. Um, Thank you. I'm loving your conversations. Yeah. Uh, just saying again, we just hit the three hard issues. Stay inside. All right. Yeah. So I think I mean a G3. I probably won't get northern lights this far south, but it's not out of the question. I think you need at least a G4 for that. And cancel, clear, delete. Do I sense a theme going on here? Uh, Use only positive words and thoughts as they're rapidly manifesting into form. Ask the angels to cancel the effects of past negative thinking. So again, words are powerful, but it's the energy behind the words that are even more powerful. And I had a community member. I don't think she's in right now. That was concerned that I was using the word war. Because it's a word that empowers that intention of war. But I was saying no war. So I was trying to explain. Well, I'm negating that anyway. So yeah. So it's good to watch your words, but it's the intention is even more powerful behind the words. And they use words and phraseology to program us in the advertising, the way the politicians talk. It's all very cleverly, and sometimes not so cleverly, depending on who it is, but it's all very orchestrated way of keeping us in a certain mindset so we can be controlled in a certain way. So again, when we go into the heart, when we clear all these outer layers and we find source and spirit within and from without, then these things don't have power over us anymore. So the intention are a matter, but still words have power also. So anyway, on that note, 5 o'clock, yoga time with Doreen of Children's School of Yoga. So I hope you can join us then. And of course, it's going to be um, it's gonna be all like this. It uploads as a video as soon as we're done, so you can go back to that. And yes, these are like code transmissions. These are energetic transmissions, and they're messages that are activating our dormant DNA and helping us with our awakening. So thanks for that final point, Mr. Floyd. I'm gonna end now. Now that we're down to 33 in the chat. Love you all, and take care. See you.